What is the single reason, if you had to pick one, why you would consider to stop playing a game such as Modern Warfare 3 or Call of Duty as a whole? I don't know about you, but if I would have to mention one reason, it would be skill-based matchmaking. Because even if Season 2 now is out, and even though the Battle Pass seems to be selling pretty okay, initially at least, the game continues to bleed players, meaning people decide to leave the game. Sure, there's most likely more than one reason why Call of Duty isn't selling as well as it used to do, and also why people are dropping off. I've heard also from Call of Duty content creators that they say that the interest for Modern Warfare 3 videos overall on YouTube has declined. Activision seems to have realized this as well, and efforts are being made to get new players into the game. You have, for example, been able to buy Modern Warfare 3 for around $55, I believe, instead of the initial $70 recently, and they've also added new things into the game that will hopefully appeal to new players as well. But is this really the best strategy when it comes to holding a game together? Sure, I mean, you have to think about the future, meaning also gaining a new audience over time. But what about the core players that have been buying and playing your game maybe even for decades? Shouldn't they also be rewarded and taken care of as well? Maybe, just maybe, these are the guys that Activision really need to get back into Call of Duty and maybe Modern Warfare 3 as well, in order to strengthen the numbers and also make sure that there's a faithful player base around also when the next Call of Duty game is about to be released. But instead, many of these veterans are being put into a meat grind kind of a matchmaking system, meaning skill-based matchmaking that makes even the casual playlists feel as if you're playing ranked. Maybe casual is the new rank, by the way. Well, not too long ago, Activision acknowledged that there is skill-based matchmaking in Call of Duty, and it has been there for quite some time. But when they did say that it was there already back, for example, in COD 4, then I'm like, sure, pal. And if it was, then it wasn't at least as strong, rigorous, and harsh as it is today. We know for a fact that the aim assist, as an example, has become stronger over the years in Call of Duty. So I guess it's then the same also when it comes to skill-based matchmaking settings in newer COD games. I made a video recently about both skill-based matchmaking and EOMM in Call of Duty. But I thought we would focus a bit around skill-based matchmaking, since this is something that has been confirmed to actually exist in Call of Duty. Skill-based matchmaking is most likely a way also for Activision to make more money, creating a somewhat safe place, or a bubble if you will, for new or bad players to feel that they are good at the game, that encourage them to play more and also spend money buying skins and bundles. But at the same time, these players are the ones that will most likely leave the game halfway through a season, or just after a couple of weeks or months, starting to play the newest, hottest game out there instead. So why focus so hard on this group of players anyway? Since at the same time, more experienced players get fed up having these sweat experiences game after game, making a percentage of this part of the player base stop playing. Which is also what we see if we, or when we look into the numbers, meaning stats. Although Steam is just one platform, going from around 224k players down to around 85k players on average over 16 months isn't that great. That's a loss of about 139k players on average. Well, I know that there's also other reasons, of course, why people are leaving Call of Duty or Modern Warfare 3 for other games. It could be as simple as the fact that many players enjoy the older games better, not only for the overall design and the gameplay, but also the prestige systems and the rewards you were able to achieve when playing the game a lot. And maybe we'll also see a sign of times when it comes to modern gaming and FPS titles overall at the moment, since there's many games that are struggling to keep their player bases healthy, meaning keeping their players playing the game. But at the same time, I can't let go of the thought that a game such as Modern Warfare 3 and other FPS titles out there now would be better off if they got rid of skill-based matchmaking in their casual playlists. What would happen? What is the worst case scenario if that really took place? That more people would stop playing the game? I don't think so. You see, the argument why skill-based matchmaking should be in games overall, sometimes at least, is that the new and bad players needs to be somewhat protected. And you know what? I've gotten plenty of comments from gamers that are new to an FPS game, and they don't want this so-called protection being put into lobbies where some guys act like bots, because they want to learn the game and improve like anyone else. important life lesson here, and take it from someone that is older now and has been around for some time. There's nothing or no one holding your hand, for example, when you're applying for a job or learning a new skill when you already have a job. It is up to you and you only if you're gonna make it or not, if you're gonna succeed or not. And believe rejections and getting a no instead of a yes is also something we have to get used to. So yes, we do fall sometimes, but we simply have to get up again on our feet and learn from the experience, adapt to the situation and just get better. And that is also how it's been a majority of the time for me also as a gamer over the years when I've been learning a new game. I don't always do that well in the beginning, but if I put in the time and effort needed, I will grow as a player and I will become better. But it seems as if some guys nowadays aren't willing to take on that challenge. And maybe that's also why we see skill-based matchmaking in modern games. Even though there's a saying that not all games are for everyone. And I wish that also companies such as Activision realized that to a certain degree and took action, making the games much more in the way as they were and played years ago. When Call of Duty was still a huge franchise and the games were simply better. Because it's not about, hey, if you complain about skill-based matchmaking, just get better at the game. I am good at the game already. After 20 years plus of playing FPS games, that is not the problem. I'm mostly doing well in every match I play, and the problem is the stereotype matchmaking experience that we get match after match instead when logging into games such as Modern Warfare 3. Because if there wasn't any skill-based matchmaking in the casual game modes and playlists, and in a game such as Call of Duty, then the experience would vary much more. And I believe that's a healthier approach both for new players that are about to rank up their first gun in the game, let's say, and for players that are playing the game more or less every day. Because it's Call of Duty, it's one of the easiest and most casual arcade FPS games you can ever start playing. So what about the future then? As you may know, Microsoft bought Activision and there's changes being rolled out already, although we don't see them all since it's happening behind the scenes, at least for now. But hopefully that can lead to kind of a renaissance, if you will, and better games to come when it comes to Call of Duty. Because even though I haven't been playing COD as much as I used to do recent years, it is still a franchise that I like to play once in a while, especially as a sniper as seen here. And I therefore hope that the next upcoming game that will be developed by Treyarch, by the way, can hopefully become better. Or is it too late already for Call of Duty as a whole? What do you think? Let me know. With that said, thanks for watching, and if you want to watch more FPS games or gaming, then make sure to subscribe and we'll talk soon again in my next video. Cheers and thanks for watching.